I, 26 female, am pregnant after a fertility struggle / being told I may never get pregnant. My husband, 42 male, just admitted to having an affair and getting someone else pregnant. Not sure what to do. October 11, 2023. My husband and I got married 3 years ago. When I was a teenager, I was told that due to medical complications, I may never be able to have children, but after 2 years of trying infertility treatments, I'm now halfway through my pregnancy with our miracle baby. Unfortunately, because of some complications I had to cut back on my hours at work. It's very physical. My husband offered to pick up more hours to compensate, so he has been working a lot more in the past 2 months, and coming home later. I couldn't see that anything was amiss. Things were the same as they've always been. He always brings home flowers, food, things for the baby, coffee. He's always sending me thoughtful and loving texts through the day. The gaps where he was unreachable were explainable. But this morning he sat me down, and gave me news that rocked me. He told me he's been having an affair for the past 6 weeks, and that his affair partner just found out that she's pregnant. He says that if she decides to keep the baby she's going to raise it by herself, and that they mutually agreed to end the relationship already. He wants to make things right. I don't know how things can ever be right again. He just wants to move on from what he is calling his transgression. How do I ever forgive him? How do you deal with the unthinkable? How do I learn to live with the idea that my child's sibling might be out there somewhere someday? Most importantly, how do I learn to move on like he wants me to? Edit. I have an OB appointment for unrelated medical reasons tomorrow, at which I will make sure to request extensive testing. I have plans to meet with a lawyer on Monday. I'm talking to my sister to see if I can stay with her. My relationships with much of my family is fractious, but I have a pretty positive relationship with her. I will not be seeking other options, other than having my baby due to being pretty far along, and having been told in the past I would not conceive. Regardless of what my husband has done, I love my child. Edit 2. I saw my OB on Friday, and will hopefully have some test results, fingers crossed for all negative, within the next few days. I will meet the lawyer tomorrow and go from there. My sister advised for me to stay in the house that my husband and I co-own until I talk to a lawyer. This has been such an emotionally harrowing time for me. He's acting like everything is normal. All I want to do is sleep. I keep telling myself it'll be over soon. Relevant comments. Comment 1, I don't know about you, but I wouldn't be okay having a baby with a man who just abandoned one. Op. I keep coming back to this. It sounds like she's on the fence about the pregnancy, which is ultimately 100% her choice, but the ease with which he's willing to take the stance of just forgetting the whole thing happened is hard for me. I'm more than halfway through my pregnancy, 23 weeks, so I'm in a different position. Comment 2, was thinking the exact thing. I'm not getting that he has any fear of losing you. Why? Either he thinks you're easy to control, or not that bright, or desperate to stay with his wife. Which is it? Why isn't he begging you to stay with him? Why does he feel you'll just go along with forgetting that he's cheated on you? Op. I think he knows that my initial reaction was going to be that yes, we could fix this, or that I would agree to make things right. I think that he knows that I have so much invested, emotionally, in this relationship. He is my first real love, my first everything really, and that I'm more likely to fight for what we have than to give it up. Even I'm surprised at how conflicted I feel. Update October 1, 2023. Where to begin? First off, the other woman decided to terminate her pregnancy, which was confirmed to me by her. Talking to her was really weird, and didn't answer a lot questions that I had for her. This is a person who knows me, and has met me a number of times, and I just don't get it. The motivations on both sides don't make any sense to me, and I don't know if they ever will. It helped to learn there was no romantic feelings, but it was still confusing, especially since I perceive my husband and I to have a healthy sex life, as often as 4 to 6 times per week, and I don't really get what's fun or exciting about leaving the boundaries of your marriage. We are in therapy, separately and together. Going separately is helping me to sort out a lot of my own feelings, but I think that going together is essential one way or another as well. He has been cooperative and participatory in therapy. I'm hopeful that we can figure at least some things out. We've had a lot of conversations about why it won't be easy for me to just forgive this, and why I need answers and changes in behavior, and I do feel like I've been heard. Divorce is not completely off the table, but it's a hard situation to be in, especially in a vulnerable state like being pregnant. I've consulted with a lawyer and made my parameters clear to him, but for right now I want to try to work things out. I know this isn't the update that a lot of people probably hoped for, but for me I think this is the right choice. Thank you all for your words of encouragement, advice, and perspective. I definitely took a lot of things to heart, and will remember them for a long time. It's very appreciated. Edit, I want to make it clear since people seem confused, divorce is not off the table. What is off the table right now is trying to make a decision that will affect my life greatly, when I'm already in an extremely vulnerable physical/mental position, without making an attempt at healing both on my own and with him. Even if we end up divorced in the end, allowing myself time means that things have a higher chance of being amiable, and easier for all of us, especially our child. Update 2, November 27, 2023. 6 months ago, my life was the best it has ever been. My husband and I had just found out that we were pregnant after IVF. Our relationship seemed happy and strong as it ever has. Just absolutely on top of the world. I found out he'd had an affair in mid-October where his affair partner had gotten pregnant as well. The affair partner terminated the pregnancy, and I was prepared to work through things with him, even just to end up divorcing amicably. Then I found out that shortly before we got married, he'd had another affair that I never found out about previous. I was devastated beyond devastation. He said some things to me that I will never forget or be able to forgive. I went into preterm labor at 26 weeks, which they were able to stop, but after 4 weeks I'm still having a lot of complications, and I may have to deliver the baby early. My husband has been nasty and uncooperative since we fought. He hasn't come to see me in the hospital even once in 4 weeks. My life was incredible before all of this, before I knew about all of this. I wish I could go back to that. Update 3, January 3, 2024. I had been leaving little updates in this post, but I thought I would, finally, do one big update post in its own post. I think I'm finally getting better. I'm still sad. I still hurt. There are things that will take a really long time to get over. But in the time I've spent away from him, I've come to value my freedom, and myself as a person. He didn't come to see me in the hospital even once. He hasn't come to see our baby even once. We had a big fight shortly before I went into the hospital, over his infidelity, and if he didn't want to see me that's his business, but not coming to see the baby we fought so hard for is something else entirely. But it was a sign for me that I can do this. We can do this. I can do better for my daughter and for myself. I have a lawyer now, and I'm moving forward with divorce proceedings. I know I will be okay. I don't have to rely on him for anything. I'm sad about how all of this happened. I wish it didn't happen. But I also know now that I can have a whole life beyond this, you know? Also, our baby was born a little more than 6 weeks early, and is 10 days old now. She is still in the NICU, just getting a little bit stronger, but she's doing amazing, and should be home by the end of this month. I can't wait to really start enjoying motherhood. Relevant comments. Comment, it's weird that his personality changed so completely in such a short time, or was he always a selfish a-hole, and you somehow didn't see the red flags? Anyway, congrats on your baby, I wish you all the best. OP, in retrospect, there were signs. But the thing is that we had a giant fight after I found out about the second, actually first, affair, and when that happened, it was like something snapped. He said things to me I don't want to repeat, and I could never forgive as long as I live. And when I didn't fold, he decided to punish me with this silent treatment / ignoring me, whatever this is. I lived out our entire marriage as an exceptionally passive person. Gentle, endlessly forgiving, go with the flow. When I started to stand up for myself, the cracks started to show. But there were never problems before because I never made problems. The end. Thanks for listening and let me know what you think. Did Op make the right call? Should she have left sooner, like when she found out about the first affair? Have a great day, and I will see you next time.